Gym. I haven't really been in the gym in a minute. I'm trying to get back on my stuff, trying to get back on my grind. Um just trying to get active again, man. What up, y'all? What up, chat? Everybody come hop up in here. I was supposed to go live yesterday. I didn't end up going live. What did I end up doing yesterday? I don't even remember what I ended up doing yesterday, but I just didn't have enough time to go live. But hey, we up in here now, and I kind of just want to talk about some topics, things that I'm feeling. You know, Huster, what up? What up? What up? I know I'm like 10 minutes late, y'all. I know I was supposed to be. I know I was supposed to do this like 10 minutes ago, but I just got back from the gym. Like I literally just got back from the gym. Like literally like 2 minutes ago. I walked in. I literally walked in, and like I still got my shoes on, y'all. Like look at this. We still fully fitted up. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? Are y'all finna be talking about some more topics? You feel me? So the first topic I really wanted to get into, man, is actually, can someone in the chat ask me how I feel about smoking and drinking? So it's not like I'm talking to myself. Someone in the chat ask me how I feel about talking and drinking, so then I can start the clip from there. So we can start clip farming, because I really want to talk about that topic. I feel like that's something that should be talked about. How do you feel about that? How do I feel about what? How do I feel about what specifically? How do you feel about smoking and drinking, Hero? Well, funny that you ask. So smoking and drinking, I think, is not a clearly. I don't think it's meant for you. It's not meant for human beings to do. You're not meant to, inhale, you know, exterior fumes into your lungs. Sure, you could argue that some people need it for certain situations, but the way that it's widely used, specifically, I'm talking about weed, the way that it's widely used in today's society is straight up. I mean, I think it's useless. I mean, I don't think it benefits your life in any way whatsoever, and I'm willing to argue with anyone about that. I think that smoking, majority of the time, will ruin your life and make it worse than not doing it. And this is coming from someone who's never smoked, never drank, never gave in to peer pressure, because at the end of the day, it's all peer pressure. Like, no matter what anyone says, smoking and drinking is just peer pressure. Your friends are doing it, you try it one time, all of a sudden you like it. Now smoking weed is totally different than vaping. Don't even get me started on vaping. Coughing like I got a vape. I think vaping is one of the most soy boy things that a person can do. I think that vaping is probably one of the worst things you can do to your body. Not only is it just harmful to you physically, but there's literally no purpose to it. It's chemicals made for flavor, made from different flavors. It's flavored air with nicotine and harmful chemicals that you're putting into your lungs each and every day. It's literally made by tobacco companies to get you hooked onto it, so they can have a evergreen income, because they know people who are addicted will always come back. So they're just farming money. It's kind of like how the CIA is just farming the ghetto and the hood. They just stopped in one time, did what they had to do, and now the cycle just continues. Kind of the same way for the drug companies, because they kind of just get you hooked on your first vape, make it all pretty, get some cool colors into it, some sweet little flavors, and then they add some touch screens onto them. Now you can scroll on it. I don't know. I've seen some crazy vapes nowadays. Like, they are getting creative with this. Like, they are really trying to hit that dopamine factor in your brain so that you keep coming back, and they're making them more expensive. And I'm honestly glad that vapes are getting banned like almost everywhere now, because It's ruining this generation. The tobacco company has had a tight grip around our necks. By our, I mean human beings, because I don't smoke, so I'm not a part of that group. But they have had a tight grip around smokers' necks, literally for like I want to say hundreds of years. Is it about 100 years? Vaping is worse than smoking cigs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure vaping has been proven to be worse than smoking cigarettes. I'm almost positive that vaping is way worse than smoking cigarettes. It's Pro Newbie from Instagram, bro. What up, man? How you doing? But yeah, I'm pretty sure vaping is one of the worst things you can do. As Clav would say, it is very suboptimal. So, I mean, if you are going to smoke, statistically, weed would be better. But even then, I think that if you smoke weed, that you probably have a few screws loose and you need to get your shit together, because that's a that's a reoccurring income that you got there too. Because people, let me get started on this. People say that you can't be addicted to weed. Now, can you be addicted to weed? 100%. You can be addicted to anything, and especially weed. It's something that alters your brain chemicals, something that gives you that little dopamine hit. Anything that gives you any sort of dopamine is going to make you feel a lot better. Now, pretty sure I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost sure that weed is almost a depressant rather than a dopamine. But regardless, it still alters your natural chemicals within your brain, and it will 100% get you addicted. Now, I know people who I know people who can't go, like I was chatting with this girl once and she genuinely told me that the longest she's gone without vaping is like 6 hours. And I was like, "Holy hell." And I was like, "Well, what about weed?" Cuz she did weed and everything too. She said the longest she's gone without like smoking weed is like 16 hours. And that was like within like the past 4 years since she was doing this. So this is a while ago. But I only spend 20 bucks a month on weed. You can be addicted to anything in life, even good things. To me, it's how you use the high from the weed. Weed can be healthy at times. Yes, weed can be healthy at times, but only when you're in literally critical condition and you need, you know, you need that marijuana to kind of soothe you out. But those are only for like certain patients and certain people who need that kind of stuff. Majority of people who do smoke weed aren't diagnosed and probably don't need it. It calms me from having high ADHD. Buddy, I have ADHD and I don't smoke weed, and I do perfectly fine. I used to be on ADHD meds uh, back in the day, but I'm not on that anymore. I don't even drink like that. Well, drinking is a totally different conversation. Drinking is like if I can explain, I've never drank, by the way, so I've never smoked weed, never vaped, never drank, never did any drug. Reason why I don't smoke, why I don't drink, why I don't vape. Well, let's get started with drinking first. The reason why I don't drink is because when I was younger, my mom was a alcoholic, and she would get really abusive, manipulative, and just very mean whenever she drank. And seeing that from a young age really made me not want to become that. So I decided that I would never put a sip of alcohol to my mouth and drink, because I don't want to end up how my mom was, or other relatives that I've seen in my life who were, alcoholics. And alcohol can ruin your life so fast. Like, it doesn't even make any sense how fast alcohol can ruin your life, dude. Like, there's like there's like responsible drinking, and then there's just alcoholics. And I feel like there's almost no in between. Like, sure, a couple beers with the boys is never a bad thing, I guess, depending on how often you do it. But like, people who are day drinking, going out to clubs, partying every weekend and getting drunk every weekend and just letting themselves go. I mean, first of all, alcohol is bad for your gains. So if you want to have any sort of muscles, you feel me? Like, I mean, I'm not the strongest guy by any means, but I'm definitely very vascular. But like, alcohol is very bad for your gains, and especially like if you're trying to get bigger or anything, it's just a really bad depressant. I think alcohol is a really bad depressant, and there's almost no need for it other than like special occasions. Like if I did drink, um, which I don't think I will never not be drunk. Like so, I'm not saying I will never drink. I'm 24 years old. I never have drank before. I told myself I will have, I'll pop my first champagne when I make my first meal. And I'm not far off from making my first meal. I'm very close. I should be hitting it by early next year. But um, when I make my first meal, I want to celebrate. I want to throw a party. And then I want to pop my first champagne, get drunk with my friends. And that'll be probably my first and last time ever drinking, depending on what happens. But yeah, man, I don't think there's anything wrong with responsible drinking. But like all things in life, um, too much of anything is usually a bad thing, unless it's money. You can give me all the money you want, you feel me? Too much money would never hurt anybody, you feel me? I mean, it depends on who's getting the money. But yeah, um, too much drugs, too much anything. Hope you have a good night. Thank you. Or hope you're having a good night. I am, man. I just got back from the gym. I'm just coming here to chat, rant a little bit. We've been talking for 11 minutes. I literally have not shut up for the past 11 minutes. Um, but yeah, so total opinions on vaping. I think vaping is the low of the low. I think that if you vape, you're, I mean, hey, I know it's addictive, but like it's easy to not start. It's easy to not give in to peer pressure. Majority of people do give in to peer pressure, and that's how they get started on that. And yeah, I mean, vaping is literally like one of the worst things you can do to your body. I would put vaping lower than drinking for sure, and then slightly above vaping, I would put like smoking weed. People who like smoke weed all the time, just like potheads, I mean, I personally don't mind them, but they're not people that I typically would be friends with because these are human beings that probably, uh, these are human beings who probably don't have much going on for themselves. And like smoking weed is, you'd put drinking worse than vaping, to be honest. That's an interesting take. I wonder why. Um, So the reason why I put vaping lower than drinking, so I wish I could make a little tier list, but the reason why I would put vaping lower than drinking. Hold on, can I make a quick little tier list? That'd be sick. Hold on. Am I like my screen's all like weird and stuff? Like it's not full screen for some reason. I don't know why. It just won't go back to the natural factors of it. Alright, we're just gonna put it right there. CUSTOM custom tier list. Create a tier list. Perfect. So we got our own little tier list right here, guys. Live voting poll. That's kind of sick. How do I do that? Then I can have you guys vote up on the tier list. I gotta log in. I ain't gonna do all that. What do I get images? Save. Oh, I have to like download. Okay, so I'm not gonna do this. That's too much to do right now. Anyways, are we full screen on here? Yeah, we are. Okay. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Okay, anyways, tier list for like smoking. Someone says, Mythical says, drinking cannot only put you in danger, but put other people around you in danger, and can harm people around you. You are 100% correct. Typically, vaping only harms the single person who's doing it, but drinking can and has killed people around them, you know, harm other people, which is why I would never drink because I don't want to be you know, or a problem to society. But I think the reason why I would put drinking above vaping is because vaping, uh, it catches you. You get hooked onto vaping just like that. Like almost anyone can be hooked onto vaping. Um, and like majority of people who do vape are addicted. But if you compare that to drinking, majority of people who drink are not addicted to drinking. Like majority of people who drink are not alcoholics. I'd say most people who drink responsibly. But then you have the anomalies here and there. You have the few people who are alcoholics, and you have the people who drink all the time and day drink and get super drunk and then drink and drive and just do stupid stuff. Like, but that isn't as often. Like if you look at the entire pool of humans who drink alcohol versus the tiny percentage of alcoholics, that's why I will put drinking slightly above um vaping. Now, I would put vaping at the worst, drinking at like the second worst. No, vaping the worst, smoking weed the second worst, because I mean smoking weed is just not good for you. It's not good for uh your athletic ability. It's not good for your skin. It's not good for your breath. It's not good for your lungs. It's not good for your health unless you are in like critical condition and you need marijuana to calm you. But majority of people who do smoke weed, it's literally statistically proven to make you lazy. And I have had so many friends. So, oh my God, one of my best friends, one of my best childhood friends growing up, known him for 12 years now. I recently stopped being friends with him. And one of the crazy things is he's gifted, he's hella talented, just like me. And when we were younger, we would always do flips and stuff together. He, was crazy at it. He would learn his flips, he'd go in the gym and get jacked. Literally, he's like that guy that you think of who would like touch a weight for 2 weeks and just be jacked just like that. Like crazy genetics. One of the best flippers I had ever met growing up. He would learn to flip so easily. Like his hand-eye coordination, his potential was insane. And he didn't smoke weed and everything at the time. He did it here and there as we were getting a little bit more into our teenage years. But like he just wasn't like a heavy weed smoker. And then as we got into high school, he met a few people, met a few guys, and like he just started smoking weed like crazy, dude. Like he just got on it. Like he didn't go a single day without smoking weed. And that destroyed him. Like he's so lazy now. He's literally the bummiest human being that I know now. I want to say bro got laced because he's like stupid now. Like he's I can see him in like three years standing at a corner of a gas station, just like homeless, asking people for money, getting drugged out of his brain, just like tweaked out. Like he's bad now. And he was never like this. Like it's crazy seeing like your brother, one of your best friends growing up, turn into that person that when you go to the gas station, you see like, man, like how did this homeless dude get into the situation? We used to talk about those guys, bro. We should like have conversations about those kinds of people, and seeing him turn into one like in real time is one of the craziest things going on. Leaky Leak, how you doing, bro? Imagination says, I understand that you can get like that off weed, but that's not everyone in it, and yes, it's harmful to you. But if you start acting like that, if you kind of already had that mindset, the weed kind of just catch you adopting the laziness, in my opinion. I smoke weed every day and get my shot done and stay on the ball. I mean, so there's two realities. That's an interesting take. I'm not gonna lie, but there's two realities, right? There's you right now, and there's a version of you that is smoking weed as often as you do, right? So you got you right now, or you right now, who is the version that is smoking weed as often as you do, and there's another version of you who doesn't smoke weed, doesn't do any kind of drugs, doesn't drink. Who do you think has the most potential and is the most athletic in their peak performance? Who do you think would be in their most prime peak performance? 100 out of 100 times, it is going to be the version of you who doesn't smoke weed, who doesn't do that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure like the people who are really good at, navigating their day by day life while smoking weed all the time, those people have crazy potential, crazy genetics. Um, those people are just gifted, right? And they would be so much more gifted and so much better in life if they just put the marijuana down, dude. Like, I know it's a really hard pill to swallow, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm pretty black pilled. Not because of this trend stuff, but because I've always been sort of black pilled. I've always been into like statistics and genetics and all kinds of stuff like that. I think it's very interesting, but there's literally nothing you can say that would change my mind to think that the two different versions of you, that the one of you who are you now versus the version of you who would be better, who isn't smoking weed all the time, that version of you is always going to beat the version of you now. And that is just a hard pill to swallow that most people, that's just a hard pill to swallow. Big bro, you still fuck with Jacquez? No, I don't. That's literally who I was just talking about. That's the person who I was literally just talking about, who is just too far gone with like weed. He says, Imagination says, you're right about that opinion bit, but that is not a realistic take though. I think that's a pretty realistic take, man. I think that's a pretty realistic take. I mean, if you look at athletes, there's a reason why athletes perform worse when they're smoking weed. There's a reason why most people on their day-to-day basis just perform worse when they're smoking weed. Like, there's a reason why you get high when you're at home chilling and not high while you're out performing, crazy athletics or something like that. There's a reason why you can't smoke weed and do sports at the same time, even in places where it's legal. It's just it's a defective, it's a depressor. It's going to make your body, worse. It literally is physically proven to harm your gains, harm your reflexes. Just not good for you overall. I think there's a time and place to do it for sure, but personally, I wouldn't want to do it because I would never want to be in a mindset where I'm not fully aware, and I just could never do it. He says, I mean, at the same time, everyone has vices, no matter what it is. That's only like partially true if you're comparing it to people who need marijuana, like literally need marijuana, like medical marijuana for, I'm pretty sure, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not too educated on like marijuana, but isn't it like some cancer patients get a certain kind of weed to calm their body when they go through chemotherapy? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm not too sure, but I know that those are the only people I can condone who smoke weed, just because I just seen so many. I'll tell you this. I have never in my life had a conversation with a successful athlete who smokes weed all the time. Now, there are successful people who smoke weed, and there's people hundreds of times more successful than I am who smoke weed. But I promise you, these guys aren't just doing it in their day-by-day lives, unless they're like rappers, because, that's kind of the whole rap lifestyle. You don't need to be fully aware to rap. You feel me? Hero, what's your All Black Cat's name that just appeared? Oh, shoot, that was Jack. Jack, come here, Jack. That's Jack Black. But do they drink all the time? No. I can promise you successful people, really successful people aren't drinking all the time. Sure, probably at like special events and every once in a while, but like people who are super successful aren't just like walking around drunk. I mean, look at what happened to popular MMOs. That YouTuber, bro, he was like one of our greatest YouTubers in like our childhoods, you know, and he literally came out, he multimillionaire, made a whole story about how alcohol ruined his life, drugs ruined his life, and he's now like I think he's like 4 or 5 months sober from alcohol. So alcohol will really destroy your life really fast. I think weed will gradually uh I don't think weed will destroy your life, but I think it will limit you to what you're capable of. I think weed highly limits your potential. And vaping, I think vaping just fucking destroys you from the inside out. I think vaping is probably one of the worst things you can do to yourself. Like just go in a store and buy a fucking it's it's kind of crazy thinking about it like from the outside, like as someone who doesn't vape, I just can't see myself going into a store buying a little cart or whatever, plastic little oh my god, I just can't imagine me doing that. But no offense to anyone who does. Um it's just me personally, I would never do something like that. So that is my cold hard that's my cold hard thoughts on drugs. Majority like weed, vape, all that other stuff. And now you have to show us Jack if he comes back. Well, Robin's right behind me. Y'all don't even see him. Look. How do I unfocus myself? Y'all can see Robin right there. Look. He's asleep. He knocked out. Yeah, he's gone. Out for the night. You guys got any other topics or anything I should talk about? Any other questions? But yeah, let me just sum this up for the clip. But yeah, man, 24 years. In my 24 years of living, I have never smoked weed, never vaped, never drank any alcohol. And let me tell you why, man. Personally, I think vaping is probably one of the worst things you can do to yourself. And there's no need to vape. There's genuinely no need to vape. It's just purely harmful and purely a social drug, you know, or yeah, it's what it is. It's just a social thing that you do. Majority of people who are like hooked on that kind of stuff is like teenagers, and the tobacco company has had teenagers hooked on tobacco and nicotine for fucking decades and decades, hundreds of years, I want to say. My opinion on weed, I think weed is there's some situations where weed is like sure okay, like if you're going through like chemotherapy or in the hospital, if you're in the hospital and you know they diagnose you with medical marijuana and stuff like that. But I think marijuana highly limits your potential and what you can do. There's two versions of yourself. There's a version of you who um there's a version of you who doesn't smoke any weed, and then there's a version of you now. You know what I mean? Like there's a version of you right now, and then there's a version of you who has more potential because they're not limiting themselves with the factors of marijuana. So, vaping thing, I disagree on that. Now I agree with you on the calling thing. You disagree with me on vaping. That's an interesting take. There's no need. Michael Phelps is a testimony on that. You're gonna have to explain it to me. I haven't seen the Michael Phelps vaping clip, but I don't think there's any purpose or reason in life for a human being to be vaping and smoking chemicals out of the air, flavored air. I'm talking about the weed. Um, you're talking about the weed, not the vape. Yeah, man. I just don't. I think that there's a reason why athletes aren't allowed to smoke weed. There's a reason why even in their off seasons they don't want you smoking weed because it just limits your potential, Brand. No matter what, the version of you who isn't on weed is always going to beat the one who is on weed. So just take that into factor before you start smoking. Personally, me, I would never do that because I would never want to be at a disadvantage and unaware of my, not fully aware of my surroundings. Now, drinking, I think that, the reason why I don't drink is because my mom was an alcoholic and my mom was an abusive alcoholic and she was very mean sometimes and she just wasn't herself whenever she was drinking and it really destroyed her life. Drinking is the reason why my mom isn't here with me today, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate with that to other family members who have passed away due to drinking. And I don't agree with heavy drinking. I don't agree with that at all. I'm sure there's a time and place, to have a couple beers with the guys or a special occasion. Like me myself, I've never had a sip of alcohol, but when I make my first million, I'm going to pop some champagne with my friends to celebrate. You feel me? And I'm not far off from making that first million, so who knows? But I think that drinking, there's a time and place for it, but I don't think it should be done heavily. That's my opinion on vaping, smoking, and drinking, and that's why I've never drank. The reason why I will never smoke or vape. Um, Kind of self-explanatory. Vaping is like literally stupid, and smoking is just limiting my potential. So that's why I won't. That's why I won't be doing the other one. Blunt with the boys. Nah, man. Not into that. Not into a blunt with the boys. That's how you get like you give in a peer pressure with stuff like that and peer pressure. Like you gotta. It'd be different, right? Let's say a blunt with the boys. The rotation was like a bunch of multi-millionaires. You know, I promise you, majority of these millionaires who are set aren't just sitting here smoking day in day out. And if they are, they're highly limiting their potential for what they could be doing. You can still be a multimillionaire and smoke weed, but like athletic wise and what you're doing to your body, it's just limited. Seth Rogen, yeah, Seth Rogen, he smokes all the time, but he's smoking on levels and situations where he's not like high during fights, or Seth Rogen. No, what does Seth Rogen do? I can't remember what Seth Rogen does. Is that the guy with the podcast, right? Snoop Dogg, he was already famous before he was like, I mean, he's always been smoking weed, of course, but like Snoop Dogg is a rapper. Rappers smoke weed. That is their thing. There's a reason why, like, majority of rappers who do smoke weed are just hella skinny and, has no gains whatsoever. There's a reason why majority of them just look like that because they just smoke weed. James Franco is a comedian. Wait, who's a comedian? Joe Rogan or James? Is it Joe Rogan or no Seth Rogen? Seth Rogen is a comedian. Oh, is that the actor? Hmm. Well, notice how all the people you have named aren't athletes, and I'm speaking on weed for athletes, specifically. There's a reason why I don't smoke weed is because I am an athlete, and it will highly limit my potential, and it also does limit your your thinking as well. It almost makes you think a little less. There's a reason why there's like uh those memes where it's like when you're high, you just like start thinking of crazy stuff. Only if you're Oh, if you're only talking about mill making athletes, well, yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about. Like I said it that there are multiple millionaires out there who have way more money than I do, 100 times more money than I do, and they smoke weed too, you know. But they're not doing what I do. I'm an athlete, so I don't see a reason to be. It's just not in my interest. It's not in my best interest for me to be smoking weed. And yeah, so yeah, that's how I feel about drugs and stuff like that, dude. That's really how I feel about it. What about Shikari? I don't know. I don't know who Shikari is. The runner. I I'll have to research Shikari. I need to get a new stream deck. Shikari. Oh, one of the fastest runners. Well, she's not running. She's not smoking weed during her um like her training season. She's not smoking weed before she competes. I promise you, she's not. No, she's not. She wouldn't even be able to compete. She would not be able to compete at all. That's how she got caught. Well, they shouldn't be letting people. Yeah, I mean, you're not allowed to smoke weed and then go compete in the Olympics. So that's probably why she got caught is because she was smoking weed and then trying to compete in the Olympics. And that's honestly how majority of athletes who do smoke weed during their game seasons, that's how they do get caught is by smoking weed and then they try to compete and they got to take their drug test and then boom, now they're hit. But it wasn't hindering through her abilities. Well, was she running high? I promise you she probably wasn't running high. She was still the fastest runner. Yeah, she said she would smoke before coming to races. Well, she's insanely talented. Like I said, there can be insane athletes who smoke weed and still perform at insane levels, but it's still limiting their potential. So, if she's the fastest runner while smoking weed, imagine how fast she would be without smoking weed. But it also, do you smoke, sir? I've said it multiple times. I don't. I've also said it, like, imagine how much faster she could have been if she wasn't smoking weed, you know? Plus, like, think about someone like me, right? If I were to just go smoke a blunt and get insanely high, I would still be able to do a backflip. I would still be able to do parkour and run extremely fast and jump very high. It's not going to, it's not like alcohol where it's going to literally fuck you up, but it definitely does put you in a mindset and over time deteriorates your muscles to where you will lose your potential, is what I'm saying. Wait, what? But she was already the fastest. Sure. No, I don't smoke. I never have and I never will. My point still stands. Even if she was the fastest, her smoking weed just harms her more than it does help her. If I'm faster than a group of people right now and I'm smoking weed, I'm still going to be faster than them. But I promise you, if I continued smoking weed day by day, my body will deteriorate. My muscles, I will lose my gains. I will lose my quick fiber muscles. Oh, and trust me, all this is me trying to convince you. This is not me trying to convince you to do anything, just so you know. I'm just advocating for my smoking athletes. It's just a debate, man. I don't see any ill intent with what you're typing out. But if you work out and train more than you smoke, what would happen? Well, if you're working out and training more than you're smoking, then you're still going to get hella jacked. But it's still not going to be as good as just working out and training hella without smoking. It's not much, but I mean, everyone smokes weed here and there. Other than, I mean, there's a few people who don't smoke weed at all, but I'd say majority of people who do smoke weed, they do it kind of as like a social construct where they get with their friends and everyone, not me. Yeah, I just said that. Not everyone, but majority of people who do smoke weed, they just do it every once in a while. I feel like as long as it's not your life, if it's not your day to day activity, like you're addicted to it, then you're going to be able to perform just as well as people who, well, almost just as well as people who don't smoke weed at all. That's what gets me is the different flavors of weed. Fucking vaping, dude. Yeah, I think vaping is definitely one of, if not the dumbest thing you can do. But people can change. You can always alter your life. People make mistakes. I am a firm believer that people can change, but you should definitely look for the pattern recognition. If you make the same mistake over and over and over, then it's clearly more than a mistake issue. It's like I think it's a learning deficiency at that point. Um, Vapes never made any sense to me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand vapes, dude. I think vaping is one of the probably one of the craziest constructs that humans have ever came up with. We got any other topics to talk on? I do have a flight tomorrow. I'm flying to Miami, getting on my grind shit again. Doing some more Red Bull events out there, so I do have to start packing in a little bit. So I might end the stream a little bit early. But if we got another quick topic that we can chat about, I'm down to talk about it before I head out. I've already been live for 44 minutes, so Gatorland, yes sir. Gonna be chilling up in Gatorland. Are we chilling on the topics? Yo, bro, let's hop in a Discord and talk about this no lie. Like right now, I'm down. What's your Discord? I'll add you. Oh crap! Speaking of Discord, I'm literally in a Discord conversation talking right now. If I talk on the Discord, will it echo? Oh no, I have to use my headphones. I'm good. All right, I'm gonna send you a. How do I send a friend request, bro? I'm too old for this shit. I just sent you a friend request. Accept it and give me a call. Yo, are you gonna give me a call on Discord? What's going on? I sent the friend request out. Bet I got you. My bad. Let me open my. I think that's supposed to be computer. I added you. All right, now give me a call. I'm getting so tired. How do I make this bigger? It's a video chat. Yellow.
Get it out.
What
There
up?
we go.
All right, we're all good.
Gucci.
Let me make sure stream can hear you. Say something one more time.
What's good? What's good?
Oh yeah, we're locked in. All right.
How are you, my brother? How's it going? How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I just got back from the gym, chilling in the crib.
Nice.
Leaving to Miami tomorrow, man. Life's good. A little bit tired. Was hanging out with my daughter all day today, but oh dang, why is the
beautiful?
Oh wait, hold on. Turn off camera. Oh wait. Oh, my face cam.
Yeah, if you turn the camera on Discord, it might turn your camera off on OBS.
Wait, it was automatically on. I didn't even know that. Wait, how do I fix this? Hero, your cam is fucked. I know. How do I fix this?
Yeah, hold on, let me see.
Do I have to? Let me deactivate it real quick and then activate it. Oh, it's fixed. All right, we're good.
What? Oh, you got it? Okay, good. Yeah, I can turn mine.
Pretty good day today, though. What about you, man?
I've been Gucci, just got done with the shift and everything. I'll be doing DoorDash and stuff, so I just got out the car.
Gotta get on that grind.
Yeah, you already know, my brother. You already know.
All right, so what's your topic?
Okay, so the thing I wanted to talk about is so now I will agree with you, right? When it comes to your stance on, like how you said, the version of you that smokes versus the version of you that does not smoke, which one performs better, does better, acts better, feels better? I will agree with you that when it comes to the one that doesn't smoke, that's going to just factually be a fact no matter what. The one that is not getting hindered by those things is obviously going to do better in all around anything. That's just facts. But when we're talking about athletes, The reason I was trying to advocate for like the weed smoking athletes is because we have seen people at high levels who have admitted to smoking at a more than normal rate and still performing high at what they do.
Right.
Because now I agree that there should. Now I agree with you on the vaping take. The vaping take that there is no reason for no one to be. I don't vape, so I don't smoke cigarette. I've never done nothing besides weed and shrooms to help me for when I got into that sledding accident when I was younger.
Mhm.
But those are the only things I've ever done. I don't drink. A lot of my families are alcoholics. My dad was a little bit of an alcoholic growing up. I'm the same way when it comes to you seeing people that you have been raised by or lived with going through those things and not wanting to also go through those things.
Okay.
That's beautiful. But I just think that you can still perform highly even if you are off of marijuana.
So that's where I kind of agree. I think we're in the middle ground here, but I also have to disagree because I think that
Mhm.
well, weed will affect athletes if you're taking marijuana consistently, not like one time.
Yep.
Let's say if you go 6 months clean, no smoking
Mhm.
weed,
Yep.
and then you're training, working out, doing your games and stuff this entire 6 months, and then
Mhm.
boom, now you got like a 2 week break off season, and you're smoking like every other day, getting high as fuck during this 2 week
Yep.
break before you go back. During that 2 weeks, something happens to your brain and something happens to your body that slows down the your metabolism and how you break down proteins in your body, kind of just making you a tiny bit slower. Now, if this 2 week
Okay.
course lasted longer, let's say
Mhm.
2-3 months, it will start to affect your gains. And this is scientifically proven. Weed does hinder your gains. There's a reason why bodybuilders don't smoke weed. There's a reason why top performing athletes aren't actively smoking weed, because weed is a almost as a depressant, because the people who are prescribed weed, they're usually prescribed as a depressant, or to help you soothe your body, soothe your nerves. So typically you aren't wanting this to at a performative competitive level. So this is why
Mhm.
doing this at a longer term, like months, it will start to affect your body. So I do agree that, let's say someone like me, right, or I Show Speed,
Mhm.
an amazing athlete. Out of nowhere,
Yep.
he does a stream getting high with Snoop Dogg. I, I'm sure he's still gonna be smoking dudes on the street, not like literally smoking dudes, but like you know,
No, I get. Yeah, I get what you
yeah,
mean. I
like
get what you mean.
racing dudes. I'm sure he's still gonna be able to beat them because he hasn't been smoking consistently for a very long time. That's when you're doing it consistently over a long period of time. That's when weed starts to affect your body, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm saying that version. I'm comparing people who aren't actively training. Like if you compare the average person, right? The average person who's smoking
Mhm.
weed isn't training at high levels all day, every day for something, right? Most people who
Okay.
smoke weed
Yeah.
are
True.
just doing it casually for
Mhm.
fun, a social construct, right? These people aren't
No. Yeah.
training, and they've probably been smoking weed for so long to to the point where it has started to affect their gains and their metabolism. And these people aren't going to perform as good as people who aren't smoking. So let's say you got two people who aren't training, right?
Okay. Yep.
One of them is smoking, one of them is not. The one who
Mhm.
isn't smoking, depending on their genetics, let's just say they're both completely average Joes. The one who isn't
Yep.
smoking is going to outperform the one who is smoking consistently 10 out of 10 times. And that's what I'm trying to say. Now, if you take a
I
high
mean,
performing athlete,
yeah, I agree.
so let's say
I agree to an extent. I agree to
let's
an
say you
extent.
take John Jones. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
John Jones is smoking on the side, during his off seasons.
Yeah, he
But
definitely is. He's admitted to doing more than just smoking weed. Yeah.
yeah, like drinking alcohol and beating his.
No, he's done coke. He's done a lot of amounts of coke. He's open.
Oh.
He's been open about that.
Okay, damn. But yeah, so these people.
Yeah, and that nigga is
yeah,
the greatest fighter, almost the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah. So you take John Jones and let's make John Jones smoke as often as Snoop Dogg does. Do you think John Jones is still going to perform at his highest level, like prime John Jones? John Jones.
Do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to lie to you?
Be honest. This is what we're here.
If we are talking about John Jones, who is pound for pound one of the most greatest fighters of all time,
prime,
right?
Now, yeah, take that version of John Jones, and let's say he's been smoking for 12 plus years, almost every day, like as often as Snoop Dogg does.
Is he still training consistently like how the other one is?
Yes, and compare him to an also training all the time John Jones, like prime John Jones, and have these two fight. Who do you think is going to win? It will be the John Jones. To be honest,
I would say 60-40. I would say it's a 60-40 split.
I don't agree with that.
Yes, you are right. The one that isn't smoking is going to win more. But I'm not going to also hold out the one that is smoking if he also puts up the same competitive fight that the other one does.
Yes, against average people or even like professional fighters. Like if you're John Jones, you're still going to be able to fuck people up, almost no matter what condition you're in. But like,
I mean, I would say if you're John Jones, when it comes to the size, my bad for cutting you off, when it comes to the size that you're fighting at, like John Jones fight at he's a what is he, a heavyweight? Is he's strictly as heavyweight?
He's
right?
a light heavyweight, yeah.
So when it comes to being light heavyweight, you have a lot of people who are over the 150 pounds, 175 pounds, almost 200 pound metric, right? So when it comes to those people, it is a factual thing that bigger people strike slower, move slower, do things slower than people who are smaller, especially when it comes to combat sports. A punch is going to be thrown faster by a lightweight than it is by a light heavyweight. That's just factual. Now, depending on who's going to have more power, you would put it towards the light heavyweight because he is a bigger person. So when it comes to a person like John Jones, if you were to say that he was smoking every day during his 12 years of being in the UFC, if he is still showing the same type of fight and he still has the same track record as the John Jones that isn't smoking, at my point, I feel like there's no difference.
I would give,
because if he's still beating the same amount of niggas' asses at the top level, then I feel at that point there really isn't. It doesn't matter.
I would give the power to the person who isn't smoking, right? UFC fighter or not, John Jones isn't known for being one of the hardest hitters in his division. It doesn't matter. There's people who are smaller than him who hit.
Yeah, yes and no. I'll agree with you on that. Yeah.
John Jones is not a knockout artist. He's 100% he's a wrestler. He plays really smart. He plays the stamina game. You feel me? He's John Jones. He's not like a.
I mean, yeah, but a lot of his main strikes while he's fighting come from the elbow, the knee, the heel, the foot, him shooting leg kicks, him shooting hooks. That's his main repertoire when he fights. A lot of his submissions come from him grappling people, yes, right. But his main repertoire of how he strikes is
John Jones has said it himself that he knows for sure he does not have that much power, even in his strikes. So I wouldn't just give it to him because he's bigger. That even if he was smoking, that he would win over someone who's smaller. Or power wise, if we're talking, he'd probably still win if there wasn't a power difference, just because he's John Jones. But I'm saying majority of time, power is just a God-given thing, but it can be trained. John Jones has said it multiple times. He just wasn't given that God-given, power within his punches.
Yeah.
And there's people lighter than him who can punch way, way harder than him. And let's just stay on topic though. I think that if you had a John Jones, I think my point still stands. I think that if you had a John Jones who's actively smoking versus prime John Jones who's not smoking whatsoever, I think that this prime John Jones would win. And that's mainly my argument here as to why I wouldn't smoke weed and why I don't think athletes should actively be smoking weed. Like I said, alcohol,
Yeah.
the same thing for weed. I think there's a time and a place for it. You
Mhm.
know, every once in a while, I think it's cool as long as you're not getting it to the point where it's affecting your gains, or if you're taking it in a circumstance where you need like medical marijuana. But I don't think that it should be something that you're taking on a. It shouldn't be a daily substance that you're taking. Is what I would say.
Okay. We can semi agree or to agree to disagree on that topic. Now, when it comes to the alcohol, right?
Hmm.
So, do you say that alcohol does not affect your gains whatsoever?
No, alcohol does for sure affect your gains, and that's
So,
scientifically
if you
proven.
were okay, so tell me, okay, so answer me this question: which John Jones would you pick? The John Jones who's drinking every day, or the John Jones who's smoking weed every day?
I would pick the John Jones who is smoking weed every day because
Okay,
alcohol
okay, all right,
al-
cool, okay, bet, okay,
alcohol
cool,
is
bet, right.
much more of a depressant and does
Thank
much
you,
more
thank you. At
to your
least we agree
body
on
than
that. At
weed.
least we agree on that.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
feel like that's known. You know, you get drunk and alcoholics or dude, alcohol ruins your fucking life. Like I think alcohol,
Facts.
if not drank responsibly, can ruin your life faster than smoking and vaping. I think alcohol can ruin your life
Mhm.
faster than fucking like cocaine. You know what I mean? Like you
Oh
get
no,
drunk.
I mean, no, I know, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah,
Yep.
you get drunk enough, bro, that one night can just alter your entire life. So
No, facts, facts.
alcohol, I think
I fucking feel you.
if not taken responsibly, if not you know, drinking responsibly at a time and a place with your buddies, I think that alcohol for sure is like one of the worst, if not the worst depressant you can put in your body.
Because when it comes to the size of, like, of us talking about, at the end of the day, what is worse to
Hmm.
an extent, right? Yes, what you said earlier in your stream when I brought up vices. In retrospect and by factual evidence, anything can be a vice and anything can become addictive.
That's true.
Even if something is positive towards your life, if it becomes an addiction, that is still, at some factual points, that still can be bad.
I agree.
Like a person who's only addicted to working out all day. Would you say that can lead to being a bad addiction?
Well, yes, working out every day is not good for your gains. Working out every day
Okay.
is proven to
Okay.
be worse for your gains because you need rest time. So I
Hmm.
think that working out every day would be a bad addiction, yes, because you're almost harming your body more than you're helping it.
Yeah, but we get some of the people who be like, I be every day in the gym. We got to be every day in the gym. There's no rest dates. There's no quit dates. That you shouldn't be like that. I feel like those are the kind of people when it comes to pushing the athletic rhetoric to people. Because don't get me wrong, I do agree with you when it comes to taking any type of drug that hinders you to some degree, that alters how you think, feel, how what you do normally than if you're not on it. That definitely can be a detriment to you. That's a fact. That there no one can defute that at all. But it's like when it comes to vices, in my opinion, if anyone were going to pick up any vice ever, let's say you have all of these things that you could do when it comes to getting you over certain things, obviously, like you said, alcohol and weed are depressants. You get diagnosed by doctors for depressants, even though like weed does get diagnosed to you for other things besides depressants. If you have anorexia and you can't eat, if you have bad time with holding food down, and like you if what's the disease that you can't people who
Parkinson's,
anorexia.
is it
No, if you have anorexia, if you are anorexic and you cannot, and you really choose to like not eat,
yeah,
most doctors will give you marijuana because it forces you to have a appetite
yeah.
and force you to take the food down.
And those are
So when it comes to
situations
that,
where I would recommend marijuana. That is
yeah,
like
yeah,
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
the
So
only
yeah, yeah.
times I
Mhm.
would recommend marijuana to somebody. But I
So
personally,
so so what's
I'm
your
very black pill.
no, no, I get what you mean on that. How do you feel then about like athletes using CBD when it comes to resting times from, like, extensive workouts? Because I like, okay, let's take when you did that video with Fiction,
Hmm.
when you were passing out and your body was shaking and shit like that and all that stuff. Would you say that, well, now obviously you don't smoke weed. I'm not gonna put you in the, let's say if another person went through that same workout and had that same thing happen to them, if if you caught them smoking weed after that, would that be a bad thing?
Yes, because I wasn't prescribed weed
Mm.
after that. I was prescribed an IV. They just gave me a liquid IV, and I was back on my feet within 2 days after that incident, and I was normal.
Okay.
There's no, I had no need for weed. I wasn't diagnosed any form of CBD. There was no need for me to go out and just start putting marijuana in my body after that. I think maybe if you
I mean, no,
change the
yeah, I get
situation,
that. Yeah.
like if you change the situation
Mhm.
and you made it like I don't know, like they got
All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's do that.
like
I'll rather have you think of the situation since you are the athlete here.
yeah, like if someone got highly injured. I mean, I don't know all the reasons that you get prescribed weed, but typically it's like people who are
They do.
very
It's
ill.
very lax on how they prescribe it. It's very
Yeah,
lax.
it's just like very ill people is what I'm typically assuming. People who are like in pain, or like you said, someone with
Oh no, you do
anorexia.
not have to be like because how you said the whole chemotherapy thing. If you're not going through chemo, and if you're not going through, like people get my sister has a medical card,
Hmm.
and all she had to, and obviously this was back in the 90s when my sister's like 37. Like this is
Hmm.
obviously like when she was in high school back in the early 2000s. Back in the 2000s, you could easily get a medical card if you just said you had depression.
Wow.
If you said that you were always constantly sad, if you said that you were just going through something mentally, they would most places would prescribe you a medical card.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think that's fault of doctors like just falsely prescribing you things. And there's a big case of that nowadays
I
because
agree. I'll agree on that. Yeah, I agree on that.
now everyone like think about it like today. Everyone's saying that they have ADHD. Everyone's have all the like. There's just so many self-diagnosed people nowadays, and then
Yes,
you,
I'll agree with you on that. The
I
self-diagnosis be pissing me off. I'll
it,
agree with you on
I
that.
think it's at an all-time high, and I definitely don't think that like I don't think this may be a hot take, but like unless
Okay.
you're like genuinely chronically depressed, like I don't think that you should be diagnosed marijuana in that case, you know. I've seen people
Okay.
and this is coming from I've known people in my life who was chronically depressed and they started smoking weed and
Uh-huh.
they have told me that it didn't really help them. It made them more anxious, gave them tons of anxiety, and it
Okay.
just didn't help
But wouldn't you
that
say that
person's out.
everybody can handle
Right.
marijuana differently?
I was going to say everyone is a bit differently, so that's why I think it would
Okay.
be
Yeah.
a case to case factor. But
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely better ways to handle chronic depression than just describing them like being lazy and just prescribing them marijuana, you know? Because I've seen people who get
Now,
prescribed
okay.
marijuana
Now I agree with
and
that.
nothing changes.
Now, what if it does change though? What
And
if prescribing them the marijuana actually does change in a positive way?
how often is that happening? Because I
To
can't
be
name a
honest, I
single
well,
person.
like you said, it's an individual case. A lot of the individuals that I know that got diagnosed with something and they got marijuana as a help for that diagnosis,
So
it's helped them more than hindered them.
if it's a case to case situation, would you agree that majority of marijuana diagnoses are just false and probably need to be done a lot more research than just giving someone a medical card and saying, "Hey, go smoke as much pot as you can handle"?
Okay, now when it comes to that, would you say that offering them pills wouldn't be at all any better of an equivalent?
I don't think so because I think that pills, like you said, case to case situation. Because there's isn't there a pill form of CBD,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, you can get CBD in the pill form, yeah.
Right. Depending on what your pills, like whatever pill you're taking, I've also seen people who are on crazy antidepressants and like nothing changes, you know? Like
Yeah.
I just think that people need to have a closer relationship with their doctors and most of the time it's not the person's fault because they're seeking help,
Yeah, fact.
but
Mhm.
help doesn't always come their way. Like
No, you
they're
are
not
definitely
always
right.
being
Yeah,
helped.
you're
Like even though
definitely
they're
right.
trying to find help, sometimes they just don't like whatever they're being prescribed isn't helping. And there's been like more natural ways to get over depression. So now we're switching the topic. I feel like the topic's going into depression. So um I think there's healthier ways to get over depression rather than just drowning yourself in drugs. Some people like there are certain
No, you are right.
situations
Yeah.
like case to case, but like there are certain situations, and almost I could say that weed makes you more depressed than helps you. Now, this is a hot topic for sure.
I'll have to.
And
I'll have to disagree with you on that. But keep
let
going,
me
please.
give my take on it, and here's why.
Okay,
So
no, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
you get high. Your first time getting high
Okay.
is you get high way quicker your first time than you do, if you were to get
Oh
high
yeah,
today.
facts. My first time was crazy. Yeah,
So
facts.
your dopamine levels are going to decrease, like the level that you need to intake to get to that dopamine factor, to get that same hit, is going to
Yeah.
increase. You're going to need more and more and more, right? And
Mm.
because you're going to need more and more and more, you could be smoking all day, every day, and still not feel a goddamn thing. You know what I mean? So I've seen people who have, what the fuck?
I'm about to say, what the fuck, your light flickering like that?
Did you hear that?
No, I kind of heard something, but then I saw your light flicker on your stream, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Hold on.
No, get in the game mode, my brother. Get in the game mode. Shit, I don't play about that shit, nigga. I got a 9 mil, I got a 9mm and a 223, nigga. Shit, I don't play that. Hold on, chat. Hero DW dealing with hero business real quick. Some villains probably broke in. Hopefully not.
All right, we're good. It's my neighbors.
Obviously, don't bring that to nobody.
It's my neighbors.
Oh, it's the neighbors?
Yeah, they like.
Oh boy, I was about to say hero. About to go into hero business.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was getting like swatted or something.
Boy,
but no,
it's funny because I'm recording this conversation right now. So if that would have happened, I would have caught it as well.
That'd be a crazy clip. But where were we leaving off at? You welcome.
We left off when it came to you saying that basically I feel like your pretense was there's a lot of things that could be done before, and you should have better relationships with your doctors because there's a lot of things that can be done before you're prescribed certain things.
Yeah, it needs more for you to get.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, you were talking about the dopamine levels and shit. Yeah. You're talking about the dopamine levels.
If you're already depressed and getting high makes you feel better, and you keep on getting high and high and high, higher and higher and higher over time, it's going to take a lot more for you to get high, which means that you're not going to be feeling that same feeling from just smoking weed. You're going to have to inhale or smoke a lot more just for you to get that same tiny little feeling, and it'll last way shorter than, like your first few times doing it as well. So that's why I think that smoking more is almost worse for your depression, and I think there's a lot better ways to help you out on that.
No, okay, no, yeah, I agree with you. Now, would you also agree though at the end of the day that now you're right when it comes to someone smoking for their first time and getting that dopamine hit? Now, I would say that can happen with any drug. Any type of drug in any form, once you get that first hit of it, it does something to you.
Sorry to interrupt, but the reason why I think it happens more commonly with weed is because weed is very easily diagnosed, and it's very easily obtainable rather than like most other drugs. I'd say weed is like the popular gateway drug. So that's why I think that most people who do get prescribed weed or just taking weed for their depression, the reason why it's always weed is because weed is so easily accessible to so many people. And because it's accessible to so many people, like you said, weed affects different people from case to case. How many of those people are actually feeling better from smoking weed? I've talked to so many people who get severe anxiety whenever they're high. I've talked to so many people who smoke weed just to go to sleep. Some people who say weed makes them feel more depressed, but I've rarely ever hear people say that weed has cured their depression. If anything, it's like a temporary fix for a couple hours and then boom. But then if you got to keep smoking to get up to that level, it's just not going to last as long. And like, you got to smoke a lot more even to get there. It's just like, I still think that there's better ways to. Is he still in the call? Oop. You good?
My bad. My fault. My fault. My shit just tweaked out. My apologies. My bad.
You good, bro? I was like, what the fuck? You just disappeared off the top of the screen. But yeah, as I was
No, yeah,
saying,
keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
I still stand on that. I still think that there are uh better ways to help you with your depression.
Now, okay, I agree. Now, see, I would say that this is an individual instance right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like how you said, you've talked to a lot of people that when they smoke, it's basically a lot of negatives or a lot of downsides when it comes to them smoking weed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would say that I've had the complete opposite. I have had the complete opposite. Now, you could say that because I feel myself around people who do these things, so it is more common for you to hear the more good side of that thing being done. So like that's just it's like the same thing when you hear the negative side of it. There are people who hear the negative side of things or around people who view that thing in a negative way. So when it comes to that, they're going to hear and see more of the cons than the pros of when it comes to being in consuming this thing that is being consumed.
But
But that can be but that is for anything though.
But weed isn't
Yeah.
weed isn't something that you like imagine. Like weed isn't like something like you smoke weed and it literally alters your brain. Like when you're high, it literally alters the way you think, the way when you're high, you're just in a different mindset. Like it literally does. And that's scientifically proven. Everyone knows that.
Okay. So could you say that mindset you get put in off of smoking weed, like you said, individual instances, individuals feel differently off of being in that place when it comes to other people. Some people can feel that place as a negative thing, and other people can see that place as a positive. They get put into that mental state, that mindset, and now it could hinder the one person, but at the next person, it could help them through what they need to go through. That's what I'm saying. Like when it comes, like you are right when it comes to like. I would say now, if we were to go to a random place of people that we don't know, and we were to ask 10 people in a mall, how do you feel? What does the thought of marijuana give you? Because I feel like that would be the best question to ask. No, like these 10 people, like say of me and you, hint because me and him were talking about me being his cameraman to a degree. Let's say me and you were filming a video, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go to a mall. We ask 10 people in this mall, people we don't know, how does the thought of marijuana make you feel?
Okay.
How many of those people do you think would give a negative stance on it?
I'd say like 50-50. I'd say almost 50-50.
Okay.
I'd say majority of people have a positive.
So I feel like when
I was going to say, I feel like majority of people have a positive thought on marijuana, but I feel like nowadays, because a lot of people are so against weed nowadays and just smoking in general, that most people would also say that it would give them a negative emotion.
Okay. So and that's what, I would somewhat agree with you on that. Like I agree big with the 50-50 part. So when it comes to that, like I feel like it's always going to be a 50-50 stance on there's the bad side of things and there's the good side of things. You have the side of people who you like. Let's take your area of people, athletes. Obviously, you wouldn't want the majority of athletes being off of drugs, period, because it is going to hinder them as athletes, period. But you can say that there is certain drugs that athletes do take that do help them when it comes to the athlete that they do. One example, Michael Phelps, I would say, has won 6 gold medals in the Olympics. He said that he was extensively smoking weed throughout every single part of his training. But he said that he would wait until after he was done training to wait until smoke. Like, we go through 4 or 5 hours being in the gym, cranking out the gains, cranking out the mantra of the day. We getting certain reps in, certain weights in to be ready to be able to get you in the water to swim. Right after he leave that gym, he rolling up. But he's winning gold medals every year.
What sport does Michael Phelps do?
He's a swimmer. That's why I said the pool.
Okay.
Like he does all the workouts before getting in the water. He's a swimmer.
Okay, I had a feeling that he
That's
was
what I'm saying.
the
So
swimmer guy.
now, like, now I will take it into a degree of you because I also used to do I used to do extreme martial arts, parkour, tricking, all that as well. Until like I kept getting too many ankle injuries, and I just kind of like just stopped doing it for a little while. But I'm gonna get back into it. But I would say even I know people who do parkour and tricking almost for a living who say that even they smoke weed, but they wait until after they get done with their workouts of the day because that's what they like. It's like kind of like their healing regimen to a degree. They'll do their whole entire day of working out, training, making sure they hit their flips of the day, making sure they hit the certain number of what they got to do. But once they get home, the way that they wind down their muscles, they chill out for the day. They roll up one singular blunt, smoke that, chill, eat their protein for the day, and then they pass out. But then the next day, they right back on that.
See, that's almost the worst time. That's almost the worst time for an athlete to smoke weed because when your body is recovering, it's
I know. I would agree with you on that. I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, your body's using most of the proteins in your body and your metabolism to break down and repair those muscles. I should say to repair those muscles that you just broke down during that day. That is like one of the most important times that you shouldn't be smoking weed because weed will slow this factor down tremendously. It will slow
what if
down.
What if you're using the weed to help with the appetite? What if, because like I know a lot of people who say when they work out for a lot of the day, they continue to not have an appetite even when they get home.
Well, it's almost like a double-edged sword then because you smoke weed so you can get hungry and eat more, but you're almost eating for nothing because you're not going to be able to rebuild the muscle fibers that you just broke down all day because you're smoking weed.
But then that comes to the stance of what I said. What if you're working out more than you're smoking weed? What if you're going through 7 hours of your training, but then you smoke let's say you roll up a 1 gram blunt, which is, they say a gram is like, when it comes to like the lowest dosage for any new person to try marijuana, they say to give them a gram. That is you will still feel it, but you won't overdo it off of that. You won't start like hallucinating or nothing like that, or getting all some extra shit. You won't start doing that. So that's say like that person goes through 7 to 8 hours of training, then they go home and smoke 1 blunt that is a gram, and that's all they smoke for the rest of the day.
Well,
but that is all they're doing.
It still is slowing down. Like I said, it all depends on how often you're doing it and how consistently you're taking it. Because weed can.
Oh yeah, well, we're saying they're smoking every day, but they're smoking that 1 gram every day after training.
Well, over time, it will slow down your metabolism, and your body will have more trouble breaking down the proteins in your body to rebuild gains and quick muscle fibers. And you're going to be fatigued for longer, and you're going to have less of a drive to want to work out, to want to go to the gym, want to train. That's what weed really does. It's like the biggest killer of weed for me. Is that it literally does like slow down and hinder your drive to grind. There's a reason why. Well, there's a reason why there's so many lazy smokers. There were
already lazy people before they started smoking, dog.
Yeah, I was going to say they
were already lazy before.
The
weed is just a layup to keep them on the route to being lazy. They were already lazy before the weed hit them.
So like, hear me out. Did you hear my story about my friend that I was talking about?
Yeah. Your homie that you grew up with, that you knew for a long time, and then like you said that he got into smoking weed, and then like now you're seeing him as the person that y'all were talking down on and stuff. Like
You can Google this information, by the way. Weed does it's scientifically proven. Weed does over time make you lazier. And I saw this in real time with so many people. My friend Jaquez grew up with one of the most athletic, entertaining people I know. And now he's probably the bummiest human being that I know. And he smokes all day. That's what started it. Is because when he started smoking all the time, there was days waiting for him after school.
Explain to me, like, what do you mean by like a bum? Like, is he homeless? Is he on the street?
Yes,
like,
he's homeless.
Or is that nigga just not? Oh, okay, all right, okay.
He's literally homeless. He's house hopping. He doesn't want help. I've offered
Okay.
him, it's a long story with him.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
now
don't want
if
to put
that
his
nigga
business out there.
isn't taking help when it's offered, I would say that that's something more than just the weed. If you have offered him a way out of his lifestyle and he ain't taking it, then that nigga just stupid.
It is
That nigga's just
no,
dumb.
it is more
That,
than just the weed.
that
That's what
nigga
I
was
was
just
saying.
dumb.
I think he was laced or something because he's
No,
it's
yeah. See,
bad.
like now, now, if you're talking about a person that if they were to get offered help out of a situation that is hindering their life, and they are saying no, that is insane. And the weed wasn't what got them to that. They already had that mindset of I don't want help. They just don't want help,
Well,
especially
yeah,
from a
I'm not
person that
saying
they
that's because
grew
the
up
weed.
with you.
I'm not saying that's because of the weed,
No, no, no.
but I'm just
I just know that
saying
you're saying that weed was also like adding to it. That it added also to it as
even
well.
if we don't
But
factor
like I was
in
saying,
the
like
point that
some
he
people
was
like that,
like
those
not
are just
wanting
people who
help,
already have those mindset.
if we don't even
Mhm.
factor in the point that he wasn't wanting help and just kept
Okay.
in the fact that he was just getting lazier over time with the amount that he was smoking weed, and as consistently as he was smoking weed, he started to get even lazier and lazier. I mean, it's a proven fact. It's science. You can Google it. Weed does make you lazier, and I think that's one of the
I
biggest
mean,
reasons.
we does make you lazier, but if you're not a natural lazy person, then it's not gonna make you lazy. Now, like when it comes to your friend, that I feel like how you said like the whole I don't know if it was lace thing. There probably could have been a lot of factors into him getting to how he is right now.
Well,
A shit ton of factors.
I just
Like you said, like yeah.
again, I was gonna say I just disagree. Then it doesn't matter if you are a lazy person or not. Eventually, weed will turn you into a slower
I disagree.
performing
Yeah, okay.
person.
Well, we just agree to disagree on that. We'll just agree to disagree on that one.
Well, it's scientifically proven. I mean, there's a reason why athletes aren't high while performing. Even if let's say you take people who aren't running through like the NBA or NFL. Let's say he's got a group of friends who are having fun. The person who's high is always going to perform the least than the other people. Is because weed genuinely does. It's a calmer. It's supposed to make you more calm. It's supposed to relax you. It's a relaxer. So if you are relaxed
I mean, yeah,
consistently on a day-to-day
but was it but
basis, like there's a reason
okay.
why no one works out while being high. There's a reason why um streamers aren't doing. I mean, okay, I can't take streamers to count because there are some crazy ass streamers out there. But
Yeah, that's
athletes,
that's a whole different that's a whole different
there's a
thing. Let's
reason
stick
why
to the athlete thing.
yeah, it's the reason why like athletes aren't performing while being high is because it's a calmer, and I still 100% think that smoking weed makes you lazy.
Okay, so now, yeah, I'm not gonna defute your stance on how you think weed makes you lazy. If you think
It's not
weed makes
it's
you
not a
lazy,
thought, it's a fact.
well, but that's what I'm saying. But that's a very individualistic thing, though, as well. I know a lot of people who have not gotten lazy off of them smoking weed, and they still have the same drive as they did before they were smoking. Like that's like again, that to me, like yes, it is a factor that it's a fact that weed does do that, but at the same time, that also is a person's mindset and mind state. If they naturally are not a person that even when it comes to them doing other things besides weed, that nothing hinders them when it comes to them doing something that naturally puts you in that state, and that's when it's a whole different conversation.
Well,
Again, that's why even if you bring up Shakari Richards, one of the fastest females in the world, who was admitting that she was smoking almost before every race. She's smoking 3-gram woods. I've seen pictures of her smoking. She's smoking fat ass woods, but still having enough ability to outperform the people next to her.
well, I'm mainly speaking about like taking cannabis on a consistent day-to-day basis and while performing while high and while smoking weed. Like
Yeah, that's
even
what she
like
was doing. That's what she was doing.
yeah, I mean, weed has temporary effects on you that will just like make you lazy. But like, yeah, there's no like long term effects. Like you can be smoking weed for, 3 months straight, and then like the next month you're gonna be perfectly fine. There's no like long term effects of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know how true
Well,
that
I mean,
is
like
because
again,
there's new
I feel
research
like
coming out.
that's an individual thing. Like that's an individual. I feel like again, that's an individual thing. Like when it comes to it being a long term dysfunctional thing with people.
Well, yeah,
Like
it
because like how you said,
can
it's a
it
50
can
50 thing.
yeah, that's true. It can be an individual thing, and like you said, weed does affect people differently, but like I am still in the mindset that I think that taking weed and smoking weed will make you lazy eventually.
Okay, now, okay, so like now we'll agree to disagree on that, even though there is factual evidence that that is a factual thing that it does. I won't dispute that or anything. Now, I would say that when it comes to who you are and who I have grown to know, because I've known about you for some years now. I've been fucking with you for some years
I
now.
appreciate that,
When
brother.
it comes to oh no, always, bro. Bro, like when it comes, because this group Image Nation that I'm on, when it comes to me being on Twitch, that's a group of all my homies that we all switched to doing content. We all used to do parkour and tricking and stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
My homie literally got a job as for teaching kids parkour at the YMCA in Beloit, in Beloit, Wisconsin, before it got shut down.
Hell yeah.
Like he was the first ever parkour teacher. So we had a group called Nexus Parkour. We were sponsored by Excess Energy at one point and shit like that. Like we were doing all that stuff. Like
Hell yeah.
but like I would say, like, you know, when it comes to what you do, right? The thing that you do, I would say the mindset that you have is perfect. And I like that. The way that you think, you hold that to yourself so much. That means that you hold yourself to a higher standard. You don't touch alcohol and you don't touch marijuana because you know that it will hinder you as an athlete and what makes you your money and what you love to do. To me, I feel like, in my opinion, every athlete should have that mentality to stay at their best game. Rest in peace to Kobe. He was the first one to say that. Well, obviously he wasn't the first one to say that, but still rest in peace, Kobe. But still, like, you know, like there's just so many athletes of a high regard that just shows the greatness in you as an individual when it comes to being in this space for parkour, free running, tricking, extreme martial arts, all that stuff. Because the things that you do, it reaches all those avenues. That's why I love people in this space. Oh, always, bro. Always.
I really do appreciate that.
That's why when it came to me talking to being your cameraman, which I'm definitely still down to do, which we could talk about off for this. It's because like that's what I wish I was doing with my homies when we were doing it. We didn't have the thought of making content, making YouTube videos, doing all this. Like no one had a camera. We were just doing it when it came to someone who wanted to book us somewhere and wanted us to be all flippy and shit like that at a certain event.
Right.
So when they wanted it, we would do it. It was like later until we all started kind of disbanding because, you know, life was happening, you know. People got kids, people get certain jobs. They aren't in the mood of doing content later down in the line. Yeah, right. Like, you know, like, but seeing the people that go through that and still have the drive to still want to do it, that at the end of the day, that's what fuels me to keep doing what I do. People like you, I would say my favorite parkour / free runner of all time is Ryan Doyle. I've been watching Ryan Doyle, and if we're talking about tricking, Velushka from Europe, that nigga is cold. I've talked to both of them on different instances. I've talked to Velu on Facebook, and I talked to Ryan when he came to Wisconsin. But like seeing how these people are doing what I wish I could be doing, and at such an amazing rate, bro, I could definitely see you at being in that stratosphere of people who can take parkour, tricking, and free running to the next level.
Let's get into that. Let's get into that topic.
Okay, all right, bet.
When it comes to parkour, I don't consider, like, I know I'm a free runner, like that whole thing that I said. I am a free runner. This is what my soul embodies. I think that parkour is just another one of the skills that I have. I don't take parkour seriously. I don't free run seriously, at least not anymore. I used to train a lot when I was younger. All the skills that I can and have done today is, I hate to say this, but like majority due to genetics. I have not trained. I am 100% self-taught. I have never I've learned like maybe 2 or 3 tricks in a gym. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but
Same,
the
same.
level that I have gotten to is majority due to genetics, and of course, genetics can only take you so far. So then there's training that you have to do to fully
And your
unlock
mindset,
that
bro. Your
potential.
mindset, your drive.
Right. And yes, your drive is very important. But like I
Mm-hmm.
don't have the drive to do parkour and free running. I've said it multiple times and I'll say it again, but I don't want to be known as a
Mm-hmm.
flipper. It's just that back in the
Yep.
day, 2019, when I was posting content on TikTok, parkour was just the one that caught majority of people's eyes. Is what I blew up. Is what I was known for. So of course I'm going to continue to do it.
Okay.
But I genuinely consider parkour as just another one of my hobbies. So
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be like the head of parkour, the head of flipping. I think that who the people who are the at the top of their game doing that stuff. I think that they could be doing so much more if they monetize themselves in a smarter way. So I always tell people this. People are like, "Oh, DW, how do you get into doing YouTube?" Or the people who are currently doing
Mm-hmm.
parkour, and there's so many people way better than me, and they make so much
Yep. No, I
less
feel you.
money than me, so much less money than me,
No,
and
I feel no, I feel you. I know. I
and
know.
and I and then they start to hate on me because they're like, "Yo, I'm so much better than this guy. Why don't I have all the followers? Why don't I
Hey, oh, hey,
have
wait,
all
hold
the
on now,
money?"
but talk your shit a little bit, DW. Hold on.
Right,
Oh,
but
but I
so
saw that was a little flex you had right there. I saw that.
so why don't I have all this? Why don't I have all the stuff that he has? And simply it's because you just don't understand social media the way how it should
Yep.
be.
Facts.
Parkour and social media are two separate things, but you have to find a good way to blend the two. I found my way to blend the two 6 years ago, and I've innovated in the game, and I've been continuously innovating in the parkour game, and I've set paths for people to follow, and people have been doing that. And I think that majority
Mm-hmm.
of people, and I'm thankful that people are starting to do this now, but for the longest time, I was like, when you thought of parkour, like we're talking like the average Joe, the person who doesn't really know what parkour is. But when you thought of like parkour, it
Mm-hmm.
would be like you think of like Hero DW. I was like one of the biggest, if not the biggest, influencer in the parkour scene for the longest time. And then, I mean, Bob Reese has been in the game for a long time, but he wasn't really doing social media how he is now. And I'm thankful that he
Yep.
is,
Facts.
because now that he's doing the whole like parkour thing majority of the time, then that allows me to step back and put more energy and effort into my other hobbies. But like, I just it was just so much pressure. You do parkour, and then
Mm-hmm.
people are always like, I was in this really weird spot where it's like, think of like, take this for instance, like Charlie D'Amelio. Why the
Yep.
hell
Mm-hmm.
people are like, oh, why the hell does she have fame? Why is she famous? She doesn't do anything but dance. She's not the best dancer. Why does she have the most followers? Those two never correlate. It's all about
Yep.
social media strategies. What's popular, what's trending,
Facts.
what catches the eye, what keeps someone hooked on the video. And
Yep.
the reason why I compare my situation to that is because I was in the same situation where I was popular for doing parkour, or one of the most popular names in parkour, and people would always comment,
Yep.
be like, "Yo, this guy fucking sucks. He doesn't do. I know so many people way better than him. How come he doesn't get that as many followers? This guy. Oh, this video shouldn't have this many views. All he did was a simple flip." And it's simply because what I do appeals to a broader audience,
Facts.
and kind of like what Charlie D'Amelio did with her, her trending TikTok dances. I was doing trending flips. You can do a 1080 360 backflip, land on your nutsack, and get up and do the splits and hit another backflip. And somebody would just be like, "Oh, dude, that was pretty cool." And then you can do a really high backflip and get 10 million views, and then that's it. Because the average person only knows backflip, front flip, maybe a side flip. They don't know all
No
these
facts.
other super specific parkour moves that really no one but free runners care about, or triggers care about.
Yep.
So when you're
Mm-hmm.
doing tricks at such a high level, the only people who would really appreciate what you're doing are people well within that niche. And because the community of flipping is so small compared to like
Yep.
the major broad audience of just human beings on TikTok in general. Like, think of how many people are
Mhm.
on TikTok scrolling every day versus how many people are on TikTok scrolling every day who are interested in parkour. The numbers
Yep.
are completely different. It's probably like 0.3% to 99.97%. You know, like you're appealing to such
Yep.
a you're appealing to such a small audience by just doing that. And I'm not gonna lie, I really don't care too much about crazy parkour tricks. I appreciate them as an athlete,
Mhm. Yep.
but I don't care to do them enough because it's a risk, and my body is what makes me my money. You know, this what I do.
Oh,
I
fact.
like
No,
I've
fact. Yeah.
yeah, I've never broken a bone. I've never like ripped a muscle. Nothing crazy. And
You've never broken a bone?
no, I haven't. I pray to God that I never do.
Wow.
I pray to God that I never do because like I would be out of work for so long. My body is my
No, yeah,
job, you
bravo.
know?
No, bravo. Facts.
So
Bravo.
if I could train to a level to do all these super crazy tricks, but then that risks injury. And if I'm injured,
Yep.
I'm not going to be able to make my YouTube videos, which is one of my main sources of income. So for me personally, as an athlete who doesn't have a gym, if I did have a gym, it'd be a totally different story. But because of my current situation with where I live and, my daughter, like family situation, I'm not in an area
Yep.
where I can have easy access to a gym. And I've never had easy access to a gym. So if I was in a situation like Bob Reese, he owns his whole gym, creds to Bob Reese, bro. He grinded, put himself in the situation, like bought the gym. I'm pretty sure he owns the gym now. He's building a gym in his backyard. Like 100% worked for that
Mhm.
all. So I'm not saying Bob Reese is lucky if this does get clipped or anything like that, but I think Bob Reese 100% worked for what he has, and I
Oh
strive
no,
and
definitely. Yeah.
I
Hell
get
yeah.
inspiration from that as well because I want to be in that situation too, where I can own my own gym and do whatever the hell I want, buy my own warehouse and film YouTube videos in it. But then again, it always comes back down to this conversation. I want to be known as more than just a flipper, and I kind of am.
I was gonna say that was going to be my question. What do you want to be known for?
I just want to be known as Hero DW. I just want to be known
Mm.
as a creator. Think of it like how
I wish I had a soundboard right now. I like that.
think of it of how IShowSpeed is known as being IShowSpeed. Just
Yeah. Hmm.
he is the brand. He is what people like. He can do anything and people watch. That's the level that I want to be at, and the only way for me to get there
Yeah.
is to not do parkour all the time. But if I do that, then
Yeah.
I risk falling off, which I'm kind of trying to balance it. That's why I'm posting random shit here and there. But
No, I've been peeping. I've been peeping. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
but then it affects my engagement with my content, and if I continuously post things that my followers aren't engaging with, then I'll completely fall off the face of the earth, and I'll have to put in 3, 4, 5 times more effort to get back up to where I was or am now. So only way I can do it, and which I am trying to do now, is by streaming on Twitch and talking about stories, life situations, etc. Just
Okay.
posting Twitch clips. That's how it works for other people. So I'm gonna see if it works for me. Just post some Twitch clips of me not doing what I'm usually doing. They'll blow up, and people will tune into the live. I can talk about any random thing that I want to, go do anything that I want to, and people will watch because I will be the brand. At least that's the goal. But I'm not there right now.
No. Okay. I definitely get what you mean. Like when it comes to what blew you up, you don't want to be specifically known for that. Like you said, you want to be known as yourself.
Right.
And what is being yourself, doing whatever you want to do. Shit, you a grown ass man. This is your shit. You better do what you want to do anyway.
Right.
But like when it comes to that, like, cause I would say because I've been in the content game so long. Like obviously I don't have like a huge following or like a big following or like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've taken in so many different content creators. I've been doing this for like a decent amount of time. Like I know a few people that are going through what you are going through right now when it comes to that. Like my homie Riel, like when it comes to him getting his big following right now, it was mainly through a lot of the workout content. He was posting him getting the gains in the gym, like certain lighting and stuff like that, showing off the muscles and stuff like that. With all the shorts and shit like that.
Yeah.
But he's been noticing that like it's been keeping him stagnant, and when it comes to his like how much he should be gaining when it comes to like followers, likes, and all that kind of stuff. Like he just thinks that he's on the right ball to if he keeps doing what he's doing, that's going to elevate him to where he thinks he wants to go. Because I'm trying to get him out of that right now. How
Yeah.
you just said, instead of me doing all the flipping and all that stuff, I'm going live on Twitch. I'm making Twitch clips to talk about my life, your personal life, and all that stuff like that. Other things you're interested in, other hobbies and stuff like that. I'm trying to get him on that same mantra
Right.
to like, bro, you got a computer, because he used to be really into music, but there was like a bunch of crap happened. So when it came to him doing music, he stopped, and then he picked up him going to the gym, him working out all the time, and now he's the red pill working out content creator. But he don't want to be known as the red pill musclehead person.
Tuss is in the chat. Yo,
Hey, what's good?
Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, you good? What's good?
Is it echoing in the video? Because on my OBS, I'm getting two voice bars, one from the input and one from the output, and I think my mic is picking up what's coming out of my headset, like audibly, like.
No, you're not echoing. You're good.
You're not? Okay. Because I had turned your
I got you on my other
that,
screen.
Okay, I turned you down a little bit so that the audios weren't overlapping. But anyways, what up to
good,
say? How you doing, bro? W stream so far. Thank you guys. I've been talking with this guy for like 40 minutes now at this point.
We've
been yapping. But yeah, Tussie, man, I'm just trying to do some more Twitch clips, man. I know I said I would do it, bro. Tussie, you've been here since fucking 2021, where I like started, or 2020, I want to say, since I started doing some streams, and I've been very inconsistent. This year, this year I've streamed on Twitch. This is my first time streaming on Twitch this year in the past 5 years. Like I haven't touched my Twitch account in 5 years, so I'm trying to like use this thing.
Isn't it because like you were streaming on Kick at one point, right?
I don't think I streamed on Kick. Did I stream? I don't know.
That's what I thought I saw.
YouTube.
I saw like a few streams of you on Kick. Oh yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you were on YouTube.
Yeah, I was just doing some fun little YouTube streams because I wasn't like trying to take it seriously or anything. But then when I seen that like you can get monetized off like Twitch, which I am. I'm a Twitch partner.
Oh hell yeah!
But like I've seen how much money. Everyone knows how much money streamers are making and all that. And
hell yeah, bro.
I'm at the age, bro, where views don't matter to me. I'm trying to build a business, bro. I'm trying to build a business. So trying to give me that whatever the revenue can come in. I want to if I can get to a situation where I can do Twitch full time, that'd be fucking insane. But as of right now, it's still YouTube.
Okay, all right. Now that's what I was gonna bring up with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now when it came to us having to talk about me being your cameraman, I'm gonna just bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to you saying you want to do Twitch full time, do you know who Agent Zero is, right? You know who Agent part of AMP?
Yeah, I love Agent. Yeah.
So do you need a cameraman like how he needs Marcus?
Who I don't. I know of him. I don't really like watch him like that though. Who's Marcus?
Marcus is his full-time cameraman. He like if he does IRL streams, if he's filming YouTube videos, if he's going to like another country to do an IRL stream.
Yes.
Yeah, Marcus is coming with him.
Yes, I need a full-time like cameraman, and this is why I've been so stagnant at where I am, because I don't have that. I've been in and out of like situations where I hire a friend as a cameraman, and then they don't really want to like do it because clearly recording videos isn't their passion. They want to like work and follow whatever they want to do.
Oh no, yeah. Well, Marcus also streams on Twitch, but he does that in his own time. He got time to work for Agent to do his own thing. Like that's a whole different thing.
I remember we were talking earlier about clipping for you. Yes, bro. I'm looking for a bunch of clippers, dude. If you guys tune into my stream, like whenever I'm live and literally just clip stuff and send it into my Discord clips channel, I will literally pay you like $4 per clip that you make. So if you make fucking 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, if you make 5 clips of me, I will literally pay you $5, bro. Or $20. $20. If you
pull up my software right now.
Yes, I will literally pay you to just clip my videos because If you guys don't know, I do this 100% full time, and I am one man doing this all. I've built my entire following, made almost every YouTube video that I've ever made, everything, edit all my videos and everything.
Mhm.
All is one man, one human being with all the shit that I got going on in my life, being a dad now and having to
Yep.
travel a bunch. I've done this all on my own, and I've gotten to the point where I just don't have the time or energy to have to do this stuff on my own anymore. So if I could
No,
hire
I
people
feel you.
to take
Mhm.
some of that pressure off of me, then it will make things a whole lot faster. If I start clipping, I can start paying. And if I'm paying, then I can start making more. And if I can start making more, then I can start streaming more, so on, so forth.
Mhm.
And then we can get to a point where we're traveling the fucking country and we got tens of thousands of people outside screaming my name, and I'll be streamer of the year. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
all right, bro, all right, bro, right, hero, all right, come on, all right. So when it comes to that, if you need a
offers there.
Marcus,
Offers
because
there.
just like how you do this shit full time, besides me doing DoorDash, I also do my shit full time. But if it comes to me using my talents to be able to help you get to your dream, my brother, bro, I will pause everything I'm doing to help you with whatever you need.
Okay, so what
That
what rate are you expecting?
Okay, so when it comes to that now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I brought it up to like, okay, so if you need a full-time streamer, right? Now, obviously, Marcus isn't filming for Agent every second of the day.
Right.
That's not humanly possible. That obviously Marcus has time to go home and chill with himself and be by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to life right now, I don't have a vehicle anymore.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes now, I live in Wisconsin. Where do you live?
I'm from
If
Wisconsin,
it's cool
but I
for you
don't
to
live there anymore.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. Because I think you live like 2 states away, which
Now
in the
now I'm in
I'm
Missouri.
okay. So if you're in Missouri, I think I looked that up. That's what is that, like a 6-hour drive?
What part of Wisconsin are you in?
I'm in Madison.
Oh, Madison, dude. That's funny. I was supposed to be going to Madison this week. My buddies just invited me to this Friendsgiving up in Madison, but I told them I can't make it
See
because
that
I'm
that's
going
yeah.
to Miami tomorrow. But I'm going
Okay,
to.
okay.
I'll be in Wisconsin here. Let's do this. I'll be in Wisconsin in a couple days. I go to Miami tomorrow, and I'll
Okay.
be there to the 23rd for this Red Bull event, and then I come home on the 23rd, and I want to say the 24th or the 24th. So that Monday, I'm taking my car in to get it tinted, and then the 25th, I'm driving to Wisconsin for Thanksgiving, and I'll probably be there until like the 28th. So I'll be
Okay.
there for about 3-4 days, and we could probably film some content
We
there
can definitely
just to get things started. But I think that we should test the waters out and see how things
Oh
work
yeah. Oh no,
before
yeah.
we get to a point of paying. You know what I mean?
No, I feel hey, like I said, like when it comes to you, if you need a full-time cameraman, when it comes to you being a few states over, like okay, you're gonna be here for 4 days. If that go cool, and we get to talking and stuff like that, bro, honestly, if you just let me pay my rent and give me a car so I can at least drive to you and be there for as long as I need to, and come back for a day or two and see my girl, and then come back to wherever hotel I'm staying at. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'll do whatever. I don't give a damn. Like it's like my
Right.
schedule is open. If you want to take that 4 days of us testing the waters, that's perfectly fine with me. That's
Right.
perfect.
And I wouldn't mind doing that, of course. I mean, I've done that before. Like the reason why I'm so cautious about it is because I've been fucked over plenty of times by different cameramen who were my friends. Like my first time, I moved from Missouri to Wisconsin to film videos with my friends. I had one of my friend, he quit his job to work for me. He was my
Okay.
cameraman, and my other friend he quit his job to work with me to film videos with me. I was paying him to film videos with me. That's it. That's all. Um,
Okay.
he eventually started dating a stripper and just didn't show up to film anymore. And I
Yo.
paid a crazy story, but I ended up paying him like $9,000 over the course of 2 months, and that didn't end up working
Damn.
out. I know,
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on now. Okay. No, hold on now. Okay. Hold on. Damn. What the
I know. It's
Damn.
stupid. And then my other cameraman,
Now, I don't want to be
he
asking for that much, especially for the first like
well, no.
half a year of me
So
filming.
I
for you. That's
probably
crazy.
wouldn't. I
That's
probably
crazy.
wouldn't do that unless we're making like stupid
Yeah,
money.
that's
But like my other friend who was my
that's insane.
cameraman, he was also visiting his girlfriend and stuff a bunch. Dang, Tussa just subscribed for tier 3 months, or they've
Hey,
been subscribed for three
W's,
months. Hell yeah! Shout out to
W's,
Tussa.
W's.
But yeah, my other friend, he was just visiting his girlfriend a bunch, wasn't able to film much, and it just got to a point where I was just like paying them to just do nothing. So I kind of stopped doing that.
Oh
I
no,
fired
oh
them.
hell no,
Then I
yeah,
moved to
yeah. See,
Atlanta.
like,
I
see,
literally
yeah.
took this risk to move
hmm
to Atlanta. Did the exact same thing with other friends that I had, and they did the exact same thing. And here, currently in Missouri, I have this other friend, and I had him here, and I literally told him that like he can stay here. Like I have this whole second room, but I was only gonna make it my daughter's room, and he was sleeping on the couch and everything for a little bit at the time. Um, and I literally told him, I was like, "Yo, you can like stay here as long as you help me film videos, and
hmm
that's it." I was like, "I'm not gonna like pay you though. Like I will pay you, but like I don't like you." I was like, "You should probably get a job just because like I didn't. I can tell he wasn't in it. Like he just I can just tell he wasn't like really into wanting to film, and like he just didn't have the
No, yeah, I
energy
understand
there.
that. Yeah.
Like he also would like get
Mm.
mad, like randomly get upset. Like he genuinely has like anger issues, and it just I can just tell
Oh
it
no,
wasn't
yeah,
gonna
that's
work.
yeah,
So I
that's
just told him like, "Yo, while you're here, you might as well like find a job because I'm not gonna be able to. Well, I don't really want to pay you because I know that you're not gonna want to do this full time, and I don't want to have to put my energy and money into someone who's not gonna, you know, just like be there for
mhm.
me when I need them." So he ended up getting a job, and he was only here because he was able to film. And I was like, "Yeah, you can just like film for me on
Okay.
the side and stuff." And then he became the manager at the job and started working literally like Monday till Sunday with
Good.
like 16 hours a day. And then he was just basically living in my house rent free. And I told him like, "Yo, I need that room for my daughter. That's my daughter's room. That's why I'm here. I don't want a roommate. I don't need a roommate." And he eventually, I told him like, yeah, he's gonna have to get his own place, and that's what he's doing now. Like he's got his own spot. But
hmm
so yeah, that was another situation where I like, again, I just put a lot of effort into and energy to try to find a filmer, and it's hard. You know, you try a bunch of things out with a bunch of different people and see what works and see what doesn't. That's kind of what building a business is. But I just want to get
Yeah,
to the
facts.
point where I'm not always scavenging around looking for a filmer. Like right now, my current filmer is some dude I met in Atlanta who currently lives in Miami, and I just flew him out here from Miami for like a couple days so that we could film some videos. And it was
Uh-huh.
great. Like he's a great cameraman. I'm not gonna lie, he's a fire dude. We just happened like one video, like the really big video that I was working on, like half of the entire video was muted because you didn't know to check the mics to see if it was muted or not.
What?
Yeah, so like like I basically just like flew him out here for nothing, and I got a
Oh
side
my
like a side
god.
video that we did, and then that video didn't end up working out because it wasn't like fully finished, and it basically was just like a
hmm
waste of time and money. But like
Well, facts. Yeah, I feel you.
effort was there. I mean, it's an honest mistake, but like I kind of like wasted money
To,
and
see, okay, see, like out of everything you just told me, because I like trust me, when it comes to having trust in people that you think you should have trust in, especially when it comes to you doing so much to have them do this thing for you. When it comes to that blowing up in your face, obviously you don't feel good, and
right,
you learn from that.
right,
I have also had that same thing. I have a music media company called the Local Artist in TLA. That I started it with my homie James, but the reason why he's not doing it with me anymore is because he never really wanted to do it in the first place. He just was the one that inspired me to make it.
mm-hmm,
When it comes to me hiring all like I started having like my homies help me on the platform to try to help me film, help me record, help me do podcasts every week, help me do interviews every week, help me review people's music every week and shit like that. But they would always be on some bullshit when it comes to me actually needing them and them actually doing the task that I need them to do and doing it correctly.
yeah,
They
man,
it always falls through. Bro, it sucks ass. So trust me, me and you have gone through the same thing when it comes to dealing with people that we should have trust in, not actually having the trust in that we need in them giving to us. You know, like
right,
it just falls through for certain things. But now when it comes to me and you, right?
mm-hmm,
I am a person that when it comes to what I do, I obviously I do YouTube, I make content, I stream and all that shit as well too.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm a photographer. My mom grew me up as being a photographer. So when it came to me doing that, I've always been behind a camera.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing I've never do when it comes to helping my homies when it comes to their music. I'm always the one doing their photos, filming their videos, making sure all their audio and stuff is good on their videos, making sure all the angles is right, making sure they get in certain scenes and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I want to do this. I have asked other people that are at the same plateau as you when it comes to content to be their filmers full time. Because I know that I have the drive and at least I know that I want to do this full time because this is my passion. Filming and being behind the camera, in front or behind the camera, working on the camera is my passion. Working with a camera, no matter what I'm doing, is my passion. So when it comes to you needing a serious cameraman, because at the end of the day, how old are you?
24.
Okay, I'm about to be 30. So I didn't even know you were 24. What the fuck? Damn. I thought your ass was like 27 or something. What the
That's crazy, dude. Usually
So
I
it makes
usually
sense
I
how you
get told
said- bro,
usually
it
I get
makes
told I
sense
think
how
I'm
you-
younger.
That's so crazy. But it makes sense the way you're feeling, how you feel. Now this makes sense to me. You're fucking 24. Okay, that's perfect. That's beautiful. So when it comes to what you need and me knowing I know what you need, bro, if what you need is a serious cameraman, someone that is going to make sure that not make sure that I am also on the ball, but make sure that you are also on the ball as well too. So, as if you fall off, I fall off.
Right.
And then we both go down. So obviously nobody wants a sinking ship. So I'm gonna make sure this ship runs as smoothly as it needs to for you to get what you need. Because at the end of the day, when you get what you need, I get what I need. And we both are happy.
Wait,
so that's what I'm saying. So
Spec said, "What is going on?" I'm talking. I was debating him on marijuana. Let me get you caught up. I was debating him on marijuana earlier, and then we started talking about like athletes, and then we started. We just been topic to topic, and now we're talking about. We've had conversation in Instagram about him becoming my cameraman because I need a cameraman. So now we're talking about that. So that's just to get anyone who's just tuning into the stream. That's where we are right now. We're on the topic of cameraman. And I was just telling him about my past history with my previous cameramans, why that didn't work out because they were just not in it for the love of the game. And he's explaining to me how he's in it for the love of the game.
You gotta be, bro. You gotta be, bro. You got what Phantom say? It just makes sense.
It does make
talking
sense.
About, boy.
But yeah,
nigga, fuck is you talking about? If you ain't in it to win it, nobody is.
I'm down to have a more serious conversation, like talk actual like numbers and stuff like that. But I do think we should. So in order for me to hire you full time, I would need to be you would need to be a resourceful revenue source for me. So you need to be a resourceful investment for me, and vice versa.
Well, obviously, that's how that works.
To be a resourceful investment for you. Now. I could hire you full time, but you would need to be making me money by filming me. And we would need to, So that's why I'm saying we should try it out, see what videos we can come up with, see what we can film. I'll even take you on some trips to go film some videos for free out of my pocket, like fully paid for. We can go somewhere, plan a video out, film it, I'll edit the video, etc., and then see how it works, and then. We'll see like the return on investment on, we just filmed the video. We just filmed, let's say 4 videos in 3 days. And all these videos just made me like $50,000 each. Then we can start talking crazy numbers or whatever based off of how videos are performing. Cause I think that's the smart way to do it. Because my first time I did it, I was just like, yo, to my friends who were filming, I was just like, yo, I'll pay you 20% of everything that I'm making. So I was paying these guys like $5,000 a month to film.
That's insane. That is an insane ask. That is an insane ask.
I was paying them like $5,000 a month. And they ended up just like taking advantage of that.
Yo, about hero, that you don't even got to keep going with that. Bro, when it come to that, G, $5,000 out the ass when you don't even know how good this nigga even is at recording like that. That, to be honest, that's generous of you. That is generous of you.
No, it was.
For when it comes to the money that you know that you make, that is generous as fuck. $5,000 a month, nigga, that's paying for more than just rent. You're paying my lifestyle at that point if you're giving me $5,000 a month to live off of. That's more than the average person. So when it comes to that, bro, even I wouldn't even ask you for that month, nigga. I was gonna ask you for a beater with a heater and like 2.5K. Damn, nigga. At least I can fucking drive out to you and shit like that. Like the fuck, damn. 5K a month. Exactly. Hey, blew the daddy. Hell yeah, 5K a month. Damn.
But yeah,
you one generous ass nigga, my nigga.
I learned my lesson, bro, and I yet to have gotten to that point. But I don't think
I would have never done that.
I don't think I'll ever go back to that point unless that source, unless that investment, like that cameraman, is making me well over like 30 to 50 grand a month. So
oh no, yeah. Obviously, when it comes to, if I am boosting up your revenue, it just makes sense as me being your cameraman, especially if that's what was lacking in the revenue gap that you received. If you getting a full-time cameraman exceeds the gap in revenue that you have right now, then that just makes sense. Obviously, you pay them more. That just may, but you obviously do it over time. You don't just the second, like if the next month you're paying this nigga $10,000, that's crazy. Like there's levels to this shit. There's obviously levels. When it comes to me respecting you as a content creator and you even as a person, and especially the reason I like this conversation so much is because I'm obviously getting to know you more as a person. I wouldn't even me wanting to be your cameraman full time. I wouldn't even do that to you. That's why when it came to our original conversation that we had on Instagram, when it came to saying 2K a month, now like even that is a generous number, but when it comes to that, because you were also asking me to move out to the state that you were living in,
right?
Now,
I think that full time would be a lot easier if we were a lot closer, because of course now there could be a random day where I'm like, hey, this brand wants me to refilm this video. I need your help on it, but then I'll have to, book a flight, find schedules, blah blah blah, because you'd be so far. But like if you live closer, hold on, easier.
Now when it comes to that aspect, because now we're getting to the nitty gritty about this conversation. Now, right? Let's say you do need that. Let's say, okay, what's today? Thursday? Yeah. Let's say by Saturday, Red Bull hits you up and they say, we need you to refilm this video by Saturday. But I'm all the way in Madison and it's Thursday right now. If we are in the scenario where you are paying me the number that I would think that would be reasonable for the start of being your cameraman, and you got me a car like that to even be extra generous right there to get me transportation since I don't have that. We only live 2 states away. I have driven farther than that for way less than that. If you need a video filmed by Saturday or even in the next day, if you call me by let's say it's okay, it's Thursday, it's what? It's 8:46 for me right now. If you were to call me right now and be like, hey bro, I know you all the way in Wisconsin, but I need you back by tomorrow because I need Red Bull sent me an email, said we need to refilm this video. I am packing my shit, getting in my car, driving to the state you live in, booking a hotel room, and we're filming this video. And I'm not leaving until we need anything else you need more filmed. Well, I'm not gonna leave it all. Because I like to go by patterns. If we're doing the mantra of, let's say every week, I'm at that hotel for the entire week. The only day I come back to Madison to come see my girl is, let's say, Saturday night into Sunday and maybe Monday. But I'm coming back to your state for that entire rest of that week to make sure that we got to get done what you need to get done. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, that's reasonable. Most of the
especially
time,
because we only.
I was going to
how
say,
long? My bad. Because how long? Yeah, we live 7 hours away. Yeah. A 7-hour drive is not that bad.
That's pretty bad. I mean, it's not that.
Not
bad,
to me. I have driven 7 hours for way less, my brother.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's not that bad.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't need you like full time, anyways, just because I do have my daughter every other week. I get my daughter every other week from Thursday until Sunday. So
then that's even better. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's like 8 to 10 days a month that I wouldn't even like need to film videos because I'll be spending time with my daughter. So
and that's perfectly reasonable. That to be honest, that's even better. So that would make sense for us. So would you say that your monthly schedule of you making content is you doing like 2 weeks off, like a week, 2 weeks on, a week off, and then the last week of that month, you're back to getting into the mantra of that 2 weeks.
I'd say, well, it all really depends on when I have her, but like, it's probably like a
Okay.
week, like half a week where I'm filming videos, and then the rest of the week I'm not doing anything, and then the whole
Okay.
next week I'm filming videos, and then half of the next week after that I'm filming videos, and then so on and so forth, repeat. And
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So that's perfectly reasonable.
so maybe we can just, I don't know. I'd
Oh,
have to.
because when it comes to my mind of someone needing a 24-hour cameraman, I would think like an everyday, we like you're hitting, like I wake up in the hotel room, you calling me, hey, you ready? Yeah, I got all my shit packed up. All right, bet I'm gonna come pick you up, and we doing that every day of the week while I'm there.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Is
It would.
that is that is that how you would is that how it is for you?
Yeah, if anything, I would plan like 4 or 5 days of a week, maybe less,
Okay,
depending on what's going on. But I'd probably just like book you for an event, go film some videos, get all the shorts and everything that I need within those 4 or 5 days that I have you here, and then you'd like
okay,
go back on to living your life, and I'll go back on to doing mine, which would be at home at this exact very desk editing videos for the
yep,
next like week and a half,
exactly,
and then
yep,
call you out like the next week after my daughter's gone, and then we get to filming more
yep.
videos and stuff again.
Bro, that to be honest, that sounds like the most perfect schedule. That,
Yeah.
that sounds like literally the most perfect schedule. If you have, because I look, you did forget that you also are a father. So when it comes to you being a father, you need daughter time.
True.
That's just a factual thing you need. So if I'll use your daughter time as me being with my girl time and me being at the crib, so that's
Perfect.
perfect. And then when you need me for that week, I take that 7 hour drive, I book that hotel room for that week, and we get the filming.
Yeah. We could always
That's
do that. Yeah.
perfect. That's literally perfect. That's literally perfect. That's literally perfect. We can definitely talk more about it. Obviously, we can definitely talk more about it in when it comes to you coming for those 4 days in Madison. But that if that is what you need right there, and that is a reasonable schedule for when you to make content, bro, that ain't nothing.
Hell yeah.
That sounds like you need a part time job. That sounds like a part time job for the hours you talking. That's it.
Well, yeah.
That's
So
easy work.
we should definitely talk about it more over
Hell yeah.
um text. But what up? What up, y'all? What up? Silver
Yeah.
Lab has 75 points and is ranked 22 out of 166 on the leaderboard. What leaderboard are we talking about, guys? But yeah, man, it's definitely been sick talking, chatting. Um, we should definitely see if we can book some stuff coming up soon. I have some video
I'll
ideas
send you my
planned.
number. We can yeah. We'll text each other. I'll send you my number.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I got some video ideas planned out. We can talk that, try some things out, and hopefully set up a schedule.
Hell yeah, bro. Because especially when it comes to like, I got a lot of video ideas. I got Twitch ideas too.
Perfect.
Shit, like if you ever need help with the Twitch ideas, bro, we could definitely run this shit up. Definitely.
Bet. All right, man. Hope you have a great rest of your night, bro. All
Yeah, you too, bro. Good talking to you. Good talking to you, my brother. I'll text you on Discord.
right, sounds good. See
I
ya.
mean, on Instagram. On Instagram. My bad. Yeah, on Instagram. I got you. Peace
Be
out.
good. See you, man. All right, chat. What up, man? What up? We are back, bro. This is the longest stream I've done in a while. What are we? 2 minutes, 11 minutes, 2 hours, 11 minutes in. 2 hours, 13 minutes in. We got some people, some reoccurring guests in here. You know, we got Silver Lab 14, Reagan. She's big fan of mine. You know, big fan of mine. She's always like posted up outside of my doors with I Heart Hero DW, do a backflip signs. You know, I kind of just walk past her, brush past her, ignore her, kind of thing. But yeah, she's always in this. She's always in the stream. We also got we got Spect in here, OG, genuine OG. We got Rayon. Do you guys have any other topics that I should talk on while I'm here before I go? Cause I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not gonna be able to do another stream for like so this is my schedule. Tomorrow morning, I literally fly out to Miami. I'll be in Miami from tomorrow until the 23rd. I fly back the 24th, so I could technically do a stream. No, I try to fly back the 23rd. The 24th, I drive to go get my car tinted. And then after I get my car tinted, the next day I'm driving out to Wisconsin for Thanksgiving, and I'll probably be there until the 28th. So I'm not gonna. What is it? The 20th? Yeah, I'll probably be busy for the next week. So any topics, anything for me to clip farm on while we're here before I head out for the next week? Please say you do because I need to clip farm, and I'm right next door to you in Arkansas. Missouri has terrible weather too. Missouri does have some pretty horrid weather. It's not like too bad. I mean, I'd say it's pretty mid. It's Missouri, so you expect it to be mid. You know what I mean? Oh my OMFG, is that the real Silver Lab? Can you talk about the new Fortnite chapter? Um, so I'll be honest with you, I haven't played much Fortnite recently. I'm kind of getting my skill back. I haven't played that game much at all this year, if I'm being honest with you. But like recently, I especially haven't really been playing. I just haven't had the drive to crank. You know what I mean? My crank drive is just it's dwindling. It's dwindling. I'm not seeing any. I can talk about Fortnite all fucking day, man. But like this new season, the Simpson season, from what I know, it seems pretty fun. I see that they added a new storm tactic, right? The storm is like see through. I see the new mythic on there that like you could shoot people through builds and it like makes them float up and stuff. I think that's really cool. Haven't used it. Haven't seen the new storm. Haven't tried that out, so I have no genuine opinion on it. Um, I do like how small the map is, though. I think more action. Oh, they also I did see a video where they announced dynamic storms, where the storms are going to be changing based on the player count. So if there's less players in your lobby, the storm will shrink faster, and if there's more players, it'll shrink slower. And then there are also going to be like different shapes of the storm, apparently. Um, I don't know. Sounds cool. I might start playing again, especially because it's Christmas time. Whenever it starts snowing, I'll definitely be inside a whole lot more. But right now, I just bought me a new car, so I'm enjoying that, and I'm also trying to get back on my grind shit. Oh wait, I didn't know it would change depending on the amount of players at school. Yeah, it's going to be a dynamic storm with all sorts of different things, all sorts of different factors. I think you should try RedSec. RedSec Battle Royale is pretty fun. I haven't heard any bad things about that. But yeah, new Tesla. Yes, sir. I just bought the new 2026 Model S Plaid. Need to add mods to it. I'm tinting the windows. I might get a rear spoiler. Other than that, I don't know what else I would get. I'm going to play it during my subathon. Hell yeah, you should. It's fire. I think you'd enjoy it. Uh, if you liked Warzone, it's like that, but like more fun. So I definitely recommend playing Red Sec for sure. I have been getting a little like, let me see if I can crank real quick, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can crank real quick, bro. I have been getting a tad bit better, getting my skill back. I might need help, Rayon. I don't know what happened. I think Robin was on my PC and now my screen. Like what is this? Why is it up there? How do I reset this? Why is my screen like the ratio of my screen like not the same? We need tech support, guys. So if I do this here, and I scroll down, it should be full screen. Am I full screen, y'all? It just doesn't show up as full screen on my screen for some reason. Right click, then click transform. Right click, transform, then fit to screen. Fit to screen. Oh, that made me fit to screen. I don't want to fit to the screen. Display capture. I want to. Wait, no. Yeah, let's make me smaller real quick. Is it fitting to the screen? I'm such an unk, bro. I'm such an unk. Transform. Fit to screen. All right, now we should be good. Is it everything fit to the screen now? Your resolution is off. What's my resolution? Oh, we're good? Here, I'm gonna open up a game and y'all let me know. Let's open up Fortnite, man. Let's get back on Fortnite, bro. See if I still got it, man. Let me go crank a little bit. Dude, I literally said I was finna get off. But now I'm hopping on fucking Fortnite, I guess. Make a mod in here. Hero jawline pissing me off. Yo. What do you mean my jawline's pissing you off? That's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. That's genuinely one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen, bro. Alright, do we got audio? Yep, we got audio. Alright, let me see if I can still crank, y'all. Let me see if I can still crank. See if I can still... Oh, my mouse is about to die. That's not good. You make my face look fat. Hey man, it's all about mogging, bro. You just gotta black pill yourself. Do you play COD or any fighting games? I don't play any CODs. COD's been dead for a while. I do play the new Battlefield game though. Battlefield 6 is pretty fun. Why does this feel so like ultra slow? When I just checked. Is it not at 1600 my DPI? Something is not right. Hold on. This is not 1600 DPI. Why wouldn't it change? What is going on? Wait. 800, nothing changes. 1600, nothing changes. All right, so my DPI is just completely broken and nothing's changing. Check this out, y'all. Look at this. This is me at 1600. This is me at 800. Look at this. I'm selecting 800. Now look what happens when I try to move. Right? Look how much I have to move my arm just for me to move. Nothing. Right? Nothing. Right? Now let's go to... If it opens. It's glitching. Oh my god, bro. What is going on? Now if I put it to 1600. My mouse is like stuck at 800 DPI and it won't change. I'm gonna disable my mouse and then turn it back on. What the fuck? Plug and unplug? Yeah, let me try that out. It's like stuck at 800 and it won't change to anything else. Okay, now we're at 1600. Wait, no, we're not. Yeah, we're definitely not at 1600 still, even when... Alright, link, plug and plug. Let me see all that movement. Yeah, I'm trying to, but my mouse is just stuck at... Unless it's Fortnite. No, this is my sense for sure. Because look, now let me put it at the opposite version of this with 8. This is my sense at 800 DPI. Yeah, and this feels normal. See, now I can move on this one, but this is what it is at 800 DPI. But I'm not at 800 DPI. I'm supposed to be at 1600. Huh. Yeah, and I don't even play at this DPI either. So it's a whole lot harder to move. I don't know what's going on with my mouse. Literally never had this issue before, by the way, until I started streaming. It's like the game just knows that I'm streaming. But oh yeah, I can't even like do most of the stuff that I want to do. This is not how Prime DW moves. New mouse? No, it's the same mouse. I don't know why it's fucking up. Yeah, because look, here it is. This is me making circles, 800 DPI. Now I'm going to pull up the mouse thing. I'm going to try it one more time. You should try Tekken. I'm not really big into... Oh. Hello? Did my internet cut out? Is anybody here? What the fuck just happened? Hello? I'm here. No one's just talking. Y'all just hate me. Wait, okay, fix now. Did bro stream this crash or is it only me? Wait, why is that popping up on my chat on my phone? Oh, wait, now everything just kicked back in. Okay. I don't know what happened, but I was in Fortnite. I couldn't move. Fortnite just crashed. I think my internet stopped. I was saying good night and I was asking for a good night kiss and no one said anything, and then all of a sudden my game just started tweaking. But yeah. Good night everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in for this nice little short stream. Fortnite Docs and you, hell yeah. I'll be back in 8 days. I may do a quick little stream whenever I get back if I have time. But yeah, any clippers in here who want to clip some stuff? $4 per clip, man. Remember that, $4 per clip. So with that being said, peace.